Hello everybody. I want to show you just a little bit about how you can complete the activity in part 2 of your assessment for Unit 1 without losing anything and with giving your instructor the ability to read the document when you're done. So let me show you how this is going to work. You've got different ways to get to the assignment. You could go over here on the left-hand side and you could look for upcoming events. And then here's the Unit 1.06 exam part 2 in the upcoming events on your calendar. And then you could also go to content, which is what I would suggest. Go to content from your online school account. So you've logged into your online school account, we've clicked on content, and we're going to scroll down until we see Unit 6 Test, Eastern Europe, Part 2, TGA. Okay, so does everybody see that? I hope. So I'm going to click on that option. Now, what you see and what I see are going to be two different things because I'm logged in as a teacher and I can't help that. I can log in as a student, but I can't complete an activity as a student. So I'm going to have to do this as a teacher. So when you get to the instructions, it tells you to please complete the assignment and submit it for grading. If you have questions or you need assistance, please contact your teacher. Do not forget to enable editing after you download, and I'll show you what that means. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here for the 1.06 Part 2 document. Okay, so it takes us to a document. Now this is the important part. You're going to go to download. You need to download this document. So we're going to download it. And then we're going to save it. All right, now, one thing that's very important where it says down here, Microsoft Word document, save as type, don't change that. So what I'm going to go on ahead and do is it says 1.06 Part 2 docx, and then I'm going to just that whole file name here, I'm just going to put an underscore and put my name, okay? You can put your name, your last name and first name. And so if you're going to do that, you're going to put an underscore at the end of the file and SEYMOURJ. That way, my last name and my first name. Okay? Make sure this says save as type Microsoft Word document. If you don't, then you're going to have a problem and you're not going to get the right extension. It has to have a DOCX extension. So we're going to save, and this hopefully saved to my downloads. In fact, that's where it did save, my download folder. Okay, so I'm clicking on that after it downloaded, and I'm going to click on Enable Editing. Now, this is what lets you actually edit the file. Okay? So, I'm going to show you the file that I prepared, another file that I prepared. It's in my downloads. So I'm going to go back to that and show you real quick what it looks like. It says 1.06 Part 2, Mr. Seymour, docx Mr. Seymour - complete. So here it is. Here's the file. So what you do when you get to the file and you're editing it, you're going to go in ahead and scroll down, and it says compare the advantages and disadvantages of the use of nuclear power. Okay, it gives you some notes here to look through that will help you in building your response. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to recycle the question into a statement, choose which statement would be the best way to reword reword the question into a statement. You can highlight the correct answer or you can change the font colors. So for instance here, okay, I could, so nuclear power is bad for the environment. Nuclear power is used by many countries around the world. It has advantages in nuclear, okay? And nuclear power is great for a country's economy. These would be the three statements that you're going to put together, okay? Therefore, everyone should use it. All right, that's great. Then we have our notes here that give us the pros and the cons. So you don't have to remember those. Those are already in your notes. It says, answer the question and state your opinion. Since there's no question being asked here, you can move on to part 3. Prove it. This is where you're going to spend most of your time. So, please don't copy what I put here. This is just my response. Your response will be your response based on what you want to say. Okay? So under prove it, it says use evidence from the notes to write complete sentences. So I went back up to the notes, and it says nuclear energy is clean. There's no greenhouse gas emissions. And France saw 80 to 90% reduction in pollution. It's less expensive than traditional energy sources, uses mined uranium instead of coal or natural gas, and nuclear power plants are capable of generating continuously long-term power demands from large areas. Okay. All of those, any of those are an appropriate fact based from the table that we have. So use evidence from the notes. Those would be where you're going to get your evidence from. So I said, number 1, nuclear energy is clean and has no greenhouse gas emissions. So what we're going to do there is state that I stated that as a complete sentence. Then a second complete sentence. Nuclear energy is less expensive than other energy resources. Then the first of my evidence for negatives. The biggest possible danger from an accident at a nuclear power plant is exposure to radiation. And there are concerns over long-term disposal of nuclear waste because it remains radioactive for hundreds of years. So when I wrote my paragraph, you go back down here and you just start putting your sentences together. Nuclear energy carries both benefits and risks, period. Among the benefits are the fact that nuclear energy can be a rather inexpensive and affordable source of power with no greenhouse gas emissions. So now that's my 2 facts, right? Then I go to my second part. But the risks include the biggest concern of safety. A nuclear accident can be a massive and deadly incident. Now that I put in myself, but it is true. Concern for safety, a nuclear accident can be a massive and deadly incident. Okay, as well as concerns about the possible harm of the environment that a long-term disposal efforts can cause, given that nuclear emissions can last for over 100 years. They can last for hundreds of years. So we're going to write that however way you want to put this together, okay? This is not exactly the best written paragraph, but I'm putting it together on the fly here for you. Then, when we're done, now this is very important. When we're done, we're going to go to File, Save As, and make sure that you put your name in there at the end. After the Part 2 .docx, I would put your name. And then make sure you save it. Okay? And make sure you are saving. If you have to, go to File, Save As, and make sure that you are selecting the file name you want. You might want to put something like -complete at the end of this just to make sure you know that this is the one that has all the answers. Okay? And then we save that, right? And then we're going to get it to, we're going to take it back up to where we got it from. Okay, so we're going to click an X to get out of Word here. Click another X to get out of Word here. Going back to where the test itself was. Okay? And you should see Add Attachments. Do you see Add Attachments there? That's going to allow you to add your document. It should either be in DocX, it should have a DocX at the end, or a PDF. We're not really dealing with PDF right now, so it'll have a DocX. So I'm going to go to Add Attachments, Upload. From the upload, I'm going to go over here. This is in my downloads section, so I'm going to look in my downloads, And here's the file that I had completed right here. And I'm going to go to Open. And then I'm going to go to Update. And then I will see it saved successfully. And it's done. Okay? And then it should be ready for grading. Okay? Make sure that you have done that upload part. Hopefully this will help you. I hope. And if you have questions or if it didn't work for you, you let me know. But you may have to save it once or twice appropriately in order to get this uploaded. Okay? Make sure that when you finish the document, you put -complete at the end. It makes it easier for you and for I to know that this is the one that is not just downloaded, but it also has been answered. Okay? All right. Good luck, everybody, and I hope this made sense. If not, I'll try it again. I'll go over this with you on Wednesday.